Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Welcome in. This is a special edition of the Rob Brown Show coming at you virtually across all of the ESPN Upstate social media platforms. I am Rob Brown, and joining me now, right next to me on this little virtual program, we got head coach of your Greenville Triumph, the reigning, defending, undisputed USL League One Champs, coming off of a big weekend. Coach, thanks for taking a minute, man. Great to have you. How's life?
Life is good, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, great to be on with you as well, and always great to be on your show. Yeah, things are going so well. Preseason right now. Yeah, it's been good. I mean, we just finished our third week, and I think, as you know, we had a good preseason game against DC United this weekend. So, just breaking down some video right now for some players, and yeah, everything's going pretty well.
And that's what we wanted to have you on to talk about, Coach, because, I was texting back and forth with Chris Lewis, obviously a friend of the show as well, a co-worker of yours there with the Triumph. And he texted me back on Saturday and said, well, I'm over here in Cary. We're playing DC United. And I knew that game was that exhibition for you guys was taking place. I know it was kind of behind closed doors, COVID restricted and all that. Yeah. But what an incredible moment for you guys to get to square off with an MLS team and get some time in against top-tier players. Not just a tremendous opportunity for you guys as a team to grow, but to really kind of gauge yourself against top-tier talent. Can you give me a little bit of behind the scenes at how that came about, the mindset of what you guys were looking to take away from that game, and then how you feel coming off of a big exhibition match against that squad?
Yeah, obviously they got a new coach, and they, putting together a squad, and they're in their preseason. Obviously, Major League Soccer is coming, fast and furious in their preseasons, getting games under their belt, and so reached out to us and wanted to get a game on. From our perspective, playing on March 20th was a little bit earlier than we wanted. Just from a physical periodization process, with the guys and getting them in there. But once the communication and we started to narrow down, a certain date that made sense, and with our club, we were able to get this on. And, you can't pass up an opportunity to play against a Major League Soccer team and test yourselves. It gives you a great opportunity to learn more about who we are and what we need to add to our game for next year. For this season, sorry, not next year, this season. And so, finally, Wake Med Park, they've been training there, 4-hour bus ride for us, with Gene's bus, and we got the wraparound Greenville Triumph bus. We're going to get on the road and get up there. And, it's a great challenge for us. And it did show us quite a bit. And we played well. So we matched up the intensity level. Speed of play is always going to be something that you want to see your team kind of adapt to straight away, or you're actually sitting back to kind of observe and say, how long is it going to take us to get up to speed of play of a Major League Soccer team? But our guys fought and competed extremely well, scored first in the game, ended up tying 1-1, and created some great moments in the match. So overall, we take a lot of positivity from that. Certain little things, Rob, we've still got to tweak and kind of change and make sure that we have these discussions, open, clear communication with the players about what we're looking for. But early on, first game out of the gate like that, we kept the expectations low. And I got to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised with our group. I thought we played really well.
Good deal. So this is an interesting time to have an exhibition like that. I mean, a top-tier exhibition here with an MLS team, in that you've had a couple of veterans that have left the team, a couple of new guys who have signed on. You've got to be building chemistry. I know you guys have been going through regular training and everything, but this is kind of a whole different level for you as a head coach when you're trying to build that chemistry, especially in a sport where, depending on who you ask, chemistry really is everything. I mean, soccer's a very tough sport for one guy to play hero ball and take over. It just doesn't work like it does in basketball or football. When you're trying to build that chemistry with a new squad, even with a handful of vets from last year, and then you come up and you raise the level of competition and say, we are expecting you guys to go out there and compete with a top-tier MLS squad. As a coach, kind of how do you approach getting your team ready mentally of, hey, we want to go out there and compete, but we also want you to understand this is a learning experience for you guys as players, for you as a coach to kind of feel out where the chemistry level is, how do you approach getting the team ready for an event like that?
Well, it's exactly that, Robert. It's finding the balance, and pushing the players throughout the preparation stages as we build up to that first game. And once we got the game on the calendar, we were able to say, okay, let's get 5 or 6 days ahead of that and kind of at least get some patterns of play, organization within our group, so that there's clear understanding there. And then it's just about go out and compete, see what we can do. And you always want to keep a fresh balance between, hey guys, it's not all about wins and losses in the preseason. It is about learning in that process, which you're talking about. But at the same time, we want to represent the club well. So if that means winning the game, yeah, we want to win the game. If it means tying or losing very well and creating good chances, and that's all part of it. But again, it's making sure that we know what we're about, not adapting or trying to play their style, but adapting, that club to our style. And we took it to them in a good way. It was a good performance from us. We've got, like I said, getting these guys ready. We've got 3 more big games in our preseason that are coming up against USL Championship sides, next division up from us. Charleston Battery on the 2nd of April. We've got Louisville City on April 11th. And then Charlotte on April 17th, which will be down here at Bob Jones University on our training ground. And so far it's going well. The expectations are good. We don't want to drill them too early and push them too early. We don't want to get injuries early in this stage of the preseason either. But the guys came through healthy, number one, and they played pretty well.
Talk to me a little bit about the game itself. I mean, like I said, I know that this had kind of an odd match feel to it with it being an exhibition, 3 periods instead of 2 halves. And then, of course, obviously with COVID restrictions and the field that you guys were on being kind of a special place they're looking after, et cetera. With all of those challenges around the game itself, what can you tell us were your takeaways from the game itself? Any individuals that stood out that folks might want to keep an eye on the pitch this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of individuals did stand out. I mean, Alex Morel's pace got in behind them quite a bit in the way that he likes to run and control the wing. I thought Lachlan McLean coming back from a clavicle surgery injury in the offseason, he played well. I only kept him on for the first 30 minutes, but he did really well, scored the first goal, and he was linking up with the team extremely well as that top forward, kind of holding players off, and he was very strong. And then, you got a lot of different players like Don Smart coming in, a new veteran player that we got from Madison this year, forward Madison, and he's stepping in as almost like a number 10 role. He can also play out in the wing. We've got guys back from surgery like JJ, who's come in and had knee surgery in the offseason, so he's playing again. We got Mario Lomas, a big signing. He played at North Carolina FC in El Paso in the USL Championship. He only played 30 minutes at the end because he just got cleared 2 days ago. From traveling into quarantine and everything. And then also Max Hemmings, who had ACL surgery last year, he got back on the field. So from that perspective, look, our 2 center backs played extremely well. There was a lot of great stuff from our midfield. Every player kind of contributed in a great way. And having said that, with all the adversity, like you said, the protocols, you have to do 2 tests back-to-back in a row before you play MLS in the COVID protocols. And we had to do another test today and send to them as well. So it's like 3 within 5 days, 6 days. So, a lot of that to go into, that's all part of it. That's what we do. That's going to be part of preseason. And, everybody will tell you there's scrimmages and friendly games, but it's not really friendly. It's not really friendly. You want to compete. You want to show what you're up against and challenge yourself. So I think we did. It was great for us.
Yeah, I've always loved the term friendly when I've seen some friendlies that are very much not that. So one of the things that I kind of got to thinking about was for an MLS team, and I don't know how you guys arrived at a meeting point to play in this game, but Greenville and the Triumph are getting recognition. I mean, obviously, last weekend I was out and I see Greenville Triumph jerseys showing up almost as much as I'm seeing close to Clemson and South Carolina levels in this area. And, the trophies popping up where people can come up and see and hold up the trophy. That recognition is starting to grow. And I imagine that there was some element of that led to this matchup to DC United and MLS, saying, hey, here's a good opportunity for us to kind of put ourselves to the test in a nice little training exhibition along with this team. Have you felt that in your time here in the couple of years that the Triumph have been growing? Have you felt that? Did that kind of play a role in getting this match set up?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously, being a former player there, I think they wanted to reach out to me and kind of connect the both of that as well. And, from a branding standpoint, Greenville Triumph and winning the championship, again, we just changed over from Nike to Hummel. So we've got to upgrade you, Rob, and get you the new gear.
I'm going to need the new kit, the tartan kit, by the way. The tartan kit looks beautiful.
The new tartan jersey is fantastic, and we've got 2 more that we're going to be releasing soon over the next 2-3 weeks, and that's up to Doug Irwin, our chief branding officer and ownership group. So we'll figure that out. But again, yeah, it's a great opportunity for us to connect the clubs. The history of DC United, when I played there back in '96 and starting MLS in the first year, winning the MLS title and lifting that trophy was very special. And we won 5 trophies in 3 years at that club, 96, 97, 98, in my 3 years that I was there to begin with. So I have, fond memories of that club. I think what we're doing down here in Greenville and starting from scratch, I can remember in 2018, we were like, what's it going to look like in our first year in USL League One in 2019? And, we got ourselves to the final and we got a good fan base. And, despite some weather and some cancellations at late night, we went through a lot of adversity. But quite often when you go through the adversity like that, that shows the strength and resilience of your club and, in our supporters group. And I think winning the title, last year during COVID was extremely challenging. And it was difficult because we are a collective, collaborative species, us humans, and we want to be together. We want those celebrations. The players, and they want to see fans in the crowd. The emotion of the game, the passion of the game comes through. So we're hoping that the way we're trending now with the protocols, the vaccinations and everything, and taking over COVID, which is fantastic, and beating it, that we can start getting those fans back into the stadium. And we want to see our, Reedy River Riot and all our supporter groups committed to being back in the stadium supporting our guys. And it would be really special to have that happen. But we want to do it when it's safe. But yeah, we're building a lot. We're building the brand. Hummel has been fantastic coming on board as a brand new partner, and we've got relationships here, and all our kit is brand new, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, that tartan kit looks slick. I actually talked to Doug over the weekend, and I told him, I said, look, I'm going to get Coach on this week, but only if you're going to add that star to my jersey for me when the opportunity comes. That's the requirement. No, it was funny. I was talking with a couple of Triumph fans over the weekend, and I was telling them that last year when the game started coming back after COVID, in those first couple of games where really the only fans in attendance were basically players' family, and that was all that was in there. I was covering it for the ESPN Upstate. And while I, as a sports fan, have appreciated to some degree these COVID games where other fans, because you get to see the purest version of the sport, right? You get to see guys go out there and play the game the same way that losers like me go down to the Y and play pickup ball. There's nobody there shooting throwing up the hands when Rob Brown knocks down a 3 against a bunch of other out of shape guys. But when we started getting fans back, there was just a different feel and element to the game. And I can't imagine how much you as a coach and the guys that are playing under the Triumph banner, how much different it is when they net a goal in the first half with 100 people there versus when Legacy Early is packed in the supporter section, have the flags and the smoke going off and all that. And I know that it's just a different feel, so I'm kind of on the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
It's just going to be better this upcoming year, and I know people are already excited. Like I said, the couple of times that I've seen the trophy out in public, and we've been able to get a few Triumph fans together, there's just an energy and electricity there that I, as somebody who's traveled to a lot of different places with professional teams on the same level as a Triumph, that sense of community is really here in a way that I have not felt it in other groups. And for a team that's as new as the Triumph is, A, to accomplish what you've accomplished, but B, to be building that foundation of that group, Coach, I can't imagine that you guys and your players don't kind of feed off of that a little bit?
Oh, no, we definitely do, Scott. I think it's a great point you bring up. I mean, we are, I took this job down here under Joe Irwin, talking with Chris Lewis, and to be a club for the community. Number one, we want to thrive in the community. We want to be connected to the local, ownership groups and stores and, partners that we have. And we want to build that up. And it's huge to take a full responsibility on to do that. And that's what Joe Irwin wants to do. And, we've been taking pride in that and what we're doing when we make these appearances in the community. But we also want to have that direct connection to our fans. And we want to make sure that they have it to us. And so there is no better feeling when you step on that field in Greenville Triumph Stadium, at Legacy Early College. We've seen it, Rob. You've seen it when it's packed. I mean, when it's a full house in there, it's loud and the fans are passionate. And, slowly but surely we would love to get back to that. But even seeing, 2,000 fans, in a capacity, socially distanced in our stadium is going to be exciting because, we hold 4,100. The stadium's fantastic for game day experience. We have the beer garden, we have the partners all there as well. It's just a really good, we put on a good event. I'll tell you that much. Our club does a great job in game day events for the stadium. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to having that connection with the fan base and the community and the fans and, picking up the excitement here as we championship team that wants to come into 2021 and represent well.
Sure. And we saw the schedule get dropped, or at least the early portion of the schedule get dropped last week. As you look, and we're going to take, and by the way, those of you watching the stream right now, if you guys want to leave questions for Coach Harkes in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, drop a comment. We'll be happy to ask Coach Harkes a couple of questions from the viewers here in a minute. But when you saw the schedule drop, Coach, excitement level within the club in being just a month away from getting games underway, getting matches underway that are going to count towards the USL League One playoffs? And B, was there anything that jumped out to you early? I mean, we've got a date early, obviously, with Texas championship opponent a couple of years ago, date with UM Omaha. I mean, there are some matches early in the season that look like they're going to be tests. What jumped out to you when you saw the schedule release for the first time?
I think a lot jumped out, Rob. I mean, April 24th away at Richmond, a difficult team. We lost to Richmond last year away on the road 2-1. And it was during a time too where there was, the guys and, everybody in our country was, focused on social injustice and COVID and everything. So, we want that kind of game back again. We want to go out and compete and get up to Richmond and see if we can get a result up there. Being at home in the first game against, North Texas that beat us in the final in 2019. Yeah, we want to have that game, for sure. And we're playing tough teams, at the top of the table. These are teams that finish, third, fourth, and fifth, in our league. And then we're playing North Carolina FC in that third game of the season. And, they've been a USL championship team for a long time and have played extremely well. So they've moved into our league, and it makes it very competitive. So we're looking forward to those games, certainly with Omaha and being able to play. It sounds like it's been announced, and I think it's going to be on ESPN too. So that's pretty special for a club like us to have that. And I think our fans are going to really look at us and say, wow, there's no easy game again. Everybody's challenging for the top of the table here throughout the year and the leaderboard. And we want to fight, and we want to make Triumph Stadium a place that people can come in, be safe, enjoy the environment, be excited to connect with the team. But also we want to make it a place where we don't lose games. We want to go undefeated at home if we can. And last year we lost one game at home. So we've had some good records at Triumph Stadium, over at Legacy, and we want to continue to do that.
I was talking with Chris earlier today, as a matter of fact, when we were getting this set up, Coach, and he said something really kind of interesting to me. He said, look, we're not coming out this year to defend the trophy. We're coming out to attack to get another one. And I think a lot of people kind of the language there is important.
So he's stealing basically what I told him in the car on the weekend. So
I knew it sounded way too.
Chris actually gave me credit for that, because that's how we approach this. That's our perspective. We don't want to defend the title. We don't want to say to anybody that, hey, there's a target on our back, and that just puts you into a kind of pigeonhole spot where you say, oh, pity party, feel sorry for us because everyone's coming after us. We don't want that. From a perspective of the narrative we're discussing with the team. And I told Chris this, and I told Joe Irwin and Doug Irwin in a meeting on Thursday that we are going after a championship in 2021. The work we did in 2020 is over. That's done. You can't kind of live off of that. You've got to live in the now. Your primary purpose is, what are we doing now? So we just want to win a championship in 2021. That doesn't mean we're defending the title. That's not it. You have to change that mindset of the players. And so the mindset is, we're going out to compete. When we go out to compete, let's get the spots, that we want to get in the table. We start every game. Everyone forgets this, but we start every game with 1 point. Every game you start with 1 point. Don't lose that 1 point. If you can get 3, go and get the 3. Go get the win. But if you can still preserve that 1 point, that adds up throughout the season, and it becomes very vital towards the end as we turn the corner into September. So we've got to be, we've got to approach it in the right way.
Couple of viewer questions, Coach. First one comes in from a guy we all know personally, our buddy Ross, who says, will we see some finalists joining for the final 3 friendlies? So what can those of us who are following the offseason progression of the Triumph, anything interesting we can expect to see that might shape up and change what we see on opening day?
Yeah, for sure. And, Ross has always got some inside information, Rob. You guys, both you guys, it's hard to keep everything away from you guys. You find a way to find out what's going on in our club. We have had 5 trialists on 6 total, but we did actually offer a contract to one of those, and they signed. So that announcement will be coming either later today or tomorrow with that one player. And then the remaining 5 trialists, we will probably be making some decisions by Wednesday or Thursday of this week by adding them for the rest of those 3 friendlies as well. And, we've got 16 pros, field players on our roster. We want to get up to about 19, 20 as a final roster. So we're looking at 4 more slots possibly, and maybe even 1 from a local college that would look like we might be signing in May. Once they graduate, they're playing their spring ball right now because, as you know, COVID shut down the fall NCAA, and they're competing in the spring. So we might be offering a player coming out of a local college here to join us as well.
Very nice. We'll keep a look for those updates. Our buddy Anderson Brock, who I got the privilege to meet this past weekend, says, from start to finish, the Triumph were the top of the table in 2020, back-to-back finalists and now defending champs. Do you feel there is an expectation to repeat, and that being a finalist is an expectation for the club?
Yeah, I think, you're always putting, high expectations, but realistic expectations. It's difficult to go and repeat titles. I think everybody in every sport will tell you that. But, from day one, we're preparing the team to go out and win a championship in 2021. Does that mean that comes with more pressure? Probably. But pressure is what, can push you on to great heights and great achievements. If that's a goal of ours, we've set that as a goal. We want to get to the final for sure. And so we've got to find a way to do that. And that's managing along the line the whole season. Having the emotional fan base like Brock and those guys sitting in the crowd, we see them and they cheer on. They are very passionate people. And to have that push our players on the game day at Triumph Stadium over at Legacy is pretty phenomenal to see. And there's a lot of fans, like you said, Rob, early on, and Brock will even tell you this too. There's a lot of fans that I know that are Clemson football fans that are now coming to our games. They want to come in and see what all the hype is about. They want to come and watch Greenville Triumph. And, when we first started this club, we were saying, hey, are we going to get a big fan base? Are we going to get the core, the supporters groups that really follow us? And we've seen that happen. COVID kind of put a halt on that a little bit. So we're excited to see them share the expectations and the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs throughout the whole year, which is going to be difficult. We know that, but we're really excited to share that together with our fans.
One of the things I've loved since I got here, Coach, is not just the passion that the Reedy River Riot and the Familia and all these groups that have sprung out have for the Triumph, But the fact that when I talk to you and Chris and Doug and everybody within the administration, you guys know the people in the groups too. I mean, on a first name basis for many of them, which shows me, like you talked about, that connection with the community. I mean, there's, like I said, I've been around a lot of clubs and very few of them have that type of passion back and forth. I don't want to keep you too long, Coach. I know you guys are busy. So just any parting thoughts you want to share with the fans, the viewers that are watching right now about, anything going on in the offseason they know about and your excitement level to get ready for the 2021 season to kick?
Yeah, I'd love to share with the fans that, please get your season tickets. We would love to see you committed to our club, just like we're committed to having a very challenging team on our roster. We're adding more depth to our team, with a lot of veteran players coming in. This year, we're going to see the U.S. Open Cup being presented, and we're going to be able to contribute to that and participate in that. I believe it hasn't had a full opening or an announcement yet, but I think that's going to be something that can be really exciting about. It's the oldest tournament in the country in any sport, and I love playing in it. So we want to represent there. And just knowing that, we do know each and every one of the fans that are in these supporters groups, and whether it be Football Fanatics, Familia, Reedy River Riot, or even the American Outlaws that support both U.S. and women's national teams, as well as our club and Atlanta United. We want to make sure that we connect with them. And I'm actually, my idea is to have a special, maybe once a week when we're home, kind of meeting with our supporters groups that I could share with them some of the tactics we're doing throughout the week in training and building up to the game, which I think will bring them a great connection and knowledge to like what we're doing and why.
I love it. Coach John Harkes, head coach of the Greenville Triumph. They played DC United in an exhibition this past Saturday, won exceptionally well. We'll get you some more details about that tomorrow on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. When we get back live on the radio, Coach, my man, thanks again. Congratulations on a tremendous exhibition, and we will get you back on real soon.
Thank you so much, Rob. Great to be on with you as always.
My pleasure. Always. That is Coach John Harkes of the Greenville Triumph joining us here on the Rob Brown Show. Quick break, 30 minutes from now at 3 o'clock Eastern. Mark Ryan and I are going to go live digitally, virtually. We will see you there on the ESPN Upstate page. Have a great day, y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.